There's a moment almost every man lives through and almost no man is warned about. He's staring at his phone, watching those three dots appear, then disappear. Yesterday, she was warm, playful, affectionate. Today, she's distant, busy, cold. Nothing obvious happened, no big fight, no dramatic breakup, just a slow, confusing fade. And in his head, one question plays on loop. What changed? What did I do wrong? Here's the part nobody tells you. Most of the time, it's not about one thing you did yesterday. It's about patterns you were never taught to see. Women aren't the enemy here. The real problem is that most men are walking into modern relationships blind. And once you finally see the one secret they don't want you to see clearly, every advantage they had over you disappears. Today, we're breaking down that secret using Stoic philosophy and modern psychology, so you stop being emotionally playable and start becoming unshakable. Before we dive into the tactics, you need to understand this. Most men don't struggle in relationships because they're weak. They struggle because they're predictable. Predictably available, predictably emotional, predictably reactive. If someone can predict you, they can control you. Emotionally, psychologically, without ever raising their voice. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius spent their lives warning about this in a different language. They said you can't control the world, but you must control your responses to it, because whoever controls your reactions controls your life. Women, consciously or unconsciously, learn how to read those reactions early. Society teaches them emotional strategy. Nobody teaches men emotional structure. So in this video, we're going to walk through 5 brutal truths: the illusion of unconditional love, how your attention is being used against you, why your emotional reactions are her remote control, how scarcity turns you into your own jailer, and the Stoic core that makes you unplayable. Each one will feel uncomfortably familiar. That's the point. Point number 1, the illusion of unconditional love. Let's start with the first secret. Love isn't always what you think it is. There's a man named Daniel, good man, loyal, the kind of guy who'll drive across town at midnight because she had a bad day. He listens, pays, supports, shows up. He prides himself on being dependable. And for a while, she calls him my rock. But then he loses his job, or his confidence dips, or he goes through a depressive patch. Suddenly, the vibe changes. Messages get shorter. She's more tired, more overwhelmed, less affectionate, less available. The more he struggles, the less safe the relationship feels. One day, sitting alone in his car after another "I'm not sure how I feel anymore" conversation, he scrolls back through months of chats and it hits him. Her affection was highest when he was most useful, coldest when he needed something back. What he thought was unconditional love was often conditional access. This is what most men discover too late. I love you doesn't always mean no matter what. Sometimes it means as long as you keep feeding this feeling I like. Stoicism doesn't tell you to hate her for this. It tells you to see clearly. Epictetus said, "We are not hurt by things, but by the opinions we have about them." Daniel's pain came from the belief that love must be unconditional to be real. Once he let that belief die, something powerful replaced it: standards. Instead of asking, "How much more can I give?" he started asking, "How am I treated when I have nothing to give?" The moment you start measuring love by how you're treated on your worst day, not just your best, clarity replaces confusion. And clarity for a man is dangerous in the best way.
Point number 2, attention as currency. Here's the second part of the secret. Your attention is not free, it's currency. And most men are bankrupt. Imagine your last week like a bank statement. Good morning texts, good night texts, memes, reels, instant replies at 1 a.m., likes on every story, paragraphs when she sends one line, emotional support on demand. You think you're building connection. you're actually flooding the market. In economics, when supply is unlimited, value drops. In psychology, when your attention is always available, it becomes background noise. Women are hypersensitive to attention, not because they're evil, but because the modern attention economy trained them to be. They know what it feels like when a man is obsessed, and they know how little they have to do to keep that faucet running. Stoicism is ruthless about where you place your energy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to focus only on what was truly within his power. Your attention is one of those things. The shift is this: stop giving attention automatically. Start giving it intentionally. That means you don't reply the second your phone buzzes just to calm your anxiety. You don't pour paragraphs into one-word replies. You don't chase after someone who only shows up when they're bored. You respond when you actually have something to say. You engage when the energy is mutual. You put your phone down when you feel yourself begging for digital crumbs. The moment your attention becomes rare and honest instead of constant and fearful, the dynamic flips. Your silence starts to mean something. Your distance creates curiosity. Your presence feels valuable again. You haven't become cold, you've become precise. Point number 3, emotional reactivity, her remote control. Now we get to the real lever, your reactions. Think about the last time someone you cared about went cold on you. They took longer to reply, their tone turned sharp, they said, "We need to talk," and then left you hanging. What happened inside you? Heart rate up, thoughts racing? Maybe you wrote, deleted, and rewrote messages? Maybe you called 3 times. Maybe you begged for clarity, over-explained, or panicked. From the outside, it looks like love. On the inside, it's you handing over your emotional steering wheel. Tests, withdrawal, silence, sudden mood swings, these are all levers, and predictable men are levers' favorite toys. Stoicism was built for this exact battlefield. Epictetus taught that no one can make you feel anything without your consent. You might feel the first wave of fear or anger. That's human. But everything after that is training. Most men never learned that second step. They live in phase 1 forever: stimulus, reaction. A Stoic-trained man does this instead. Stimulus, she pulls back. Surge, he feels the anxiety rise. Pause, he does not move yet. Observe, what's actually happening? What are the facts, not the story in my head? Respond, from calm, not chaos. Maybe he mirrors the energy and pulls back respectfully. Maybe he continues like normal and doesn't reward emotional games. Maybe he calmly asks, "Is something going on?" once, and then accepts the answer or lack of answer. The key isn't the script. The key is the pause. Marcus Aurelius practiced exactly this, catching impressions before they became judgments, and judgments before they became actions. When you master that pause, something wild happens. The silent treatment stops working. Guilt trips stop working. Threats of "maybe I should leave" stop working. You haven't stopped caring. You've stopped being programmable.
Point number 4, scarcity versus options. Here's the part almost no man wants to admit out loud. The reason many of these tactics work on you is not because she's so powerful. It's because you feel like you have nothing else. In your mind, she's not just a woman. She's the only path to love, intimacy, or meaning you believe you have right now. Lose her, and you lose everything. That's not romance. That's scarcity. And scarcity turns you into your own prison guard. Stoicism flips this completely. The Stoics built their identity on what no one could take: character, discipline, virtue, inner freedom. That's their version of options. For a modern man, options aren't about juggling 10 women. Options are about building a life so full that your heart doesn't live or die based on one person's response. Options look like a body you've actually taken care of, work or skills that matter and make you valuable, a mission bigger than chasing validation, friendships and brotherhood that keep you grounded, hobbies, interests, spiritual depth, things that feed you. The more you build these, the less any one dynamic can break you. Something shifts in your energy. You stop tolerating disrespect because you don't fear being alone. You stop obsessively chasing because you know you're worth more than chaos. You stop negotiating your standards for temporary closeness. Women feel that immediately. A man with options doesn't have to say, "I'll walk away." He just quietly knows he can, and that quiet knowing changes every interaction. He just quietly knows he can, and that quiet knowing changes every interaction. Point number 5, self-respect, the secret they really fear. Everything we've talked about stacks on one foundation: self-respect. Many men will fight another man over their partner's honor, but won't lift a finger to defend their own. They'll protect her feelings while letting their own be trampled for years. They accept lies, they tolerate dismissiveness, they swallow broken promises, they trade dignity for proximity. Stoicism calls this what it is: self-betrayal. Seneca warned that no man can be free if he is a slave to his passions and fears. If you're too afraid of losing her to say, "This is not okay," you are not in a relationship. You are in an arrangement where you lose slowly. Self-respect is not about shouting, ultimatums, or drama. It's about quietly deciding, these are my non-negotiables: honesty, baseline respect, effort in both directions. If they keep being crossed, access to me changes. If nothing changes, I leave, not to punish, but to protect my soul. Sometimes when you do this, the relationship matures. The games stop. Real communication begins. Sometimes it ends, and that will hurt. But Stoicism asks a simple question: is it better to hurt once by leaving, or 1,000 times by staying where you're slowly disappearing? The secret women don't want manipulable men to know is this: once a man truly respects himself, you can't steer him with confusion anymore. He doesn't become cruel, he just becomes untouchable. Here's what this all comes down to. The real secret was never what women are hiding. The real secret was what you were hiding from yourself. That you were giving love like it was unlimited while your self-respect bled out. That you treated your attention like spam, not like gold. That your emotions were on a hair trigger and anyone who knew the right words could pull it. That your entire sense of worth lived in one person's hands. Stoicism doesn't ask you to hate women. It asks you to stop abandoning yourself. When you see conditional patterns clearly, when you spend attention intentionally, when you master the pause instead of exploding, when you build real options, when you draw a quiet line of self-respect, you become steady. You become selective. You become magnetic in a different way. You become the man you were supposed to be before the world told you to earn love by losing yourself. So, here's what you do next. Pick one of these points: attention, emotional control, options, or self-respect. Drop it in the comments. Write, "I'm working on blank." That's your contract with yourself. If you're serious about building this version of you, subscribe. This channel isn't about hating anyone. It's about becoming unplayable, unshakable, and fully responsible for your own mind. Stay dangerous, stay disciplined, stay stoic. I'll see you in the next one.